Hi, welcome to the Brummets YouTube channel. I'm really grateful that you're here joining us with us today. Please do feel free to thumbs up and share and like and subscribe to our channel. Really does make a big difference for us. So we really appreciate that as well. I love hearing from all of our contacts out there who are messaging us on Facebook and other social networking sites, and also via our social media, and also via directly through email. You have had such an inspiration for me behind this channel, and also for Dave. He has so much planned for his contributions, for more of his contributions to this channel. He's already done so much regarding images and what have you. He has a lot more to provide here. And so we're really excited about all of your feedback and connections. Thank you so much for that. Today, I really would like to answer Greg's question. Now, Greg asked this question some time ago, and I haven't had a chance to address it. So Greg, I'm addressing your question now. Greg is from the United States, and he's asking if I could tell him a little bit more about the writing process itself. So Greg is new to the world of writing. And while he's dipping his toes in the water right now, he's looking for some behind the scenes, what does it take? What does our office look like? Insight. And so I'll do my best to offer that now. Now, Dave and I do a lot of brainstorming and a lot of information gathering before we even start any project that we're about to take on. And personally, I have a lot of these pages that I purge all of these writing related thoughts, or marketing related thoughts about that project prior to even writing seriously about it, because it purges my thoughts on that project, and I don't have to worry about construction or pacing or timing or timeline, or even the specific folder it goes into. Oh, this goes in marketing, this goes in networking, this goes in whatever it is regarding that particular project and the release of that project. Now, the reason why I do that, again, is to clear out those cobwebs, clear out all that cycling content that's just bouncing around in my head, back and forth, back and forth. And it just helps me say to myself, okay, I have that written down, I can address it later. Right now I'm focusing on this. And so it helps my mind sort of like focus on what I'm doing at the time. Also, it really helps for like brainstorming, idea creation, content creation, angles of how we're going to approach it. Because once it's written down there, we can see it from a different perspective. And then we have another brainstorming session after that. So we have our brainstorming session, we create this sort of purging section, and then we meet up again, looking at that, what we've purged out on paper and what we've talked about, to see where we're going to go and what direction we're going to go from there. Now, I'm gonna come back to it. I'm gonna organize it into categories. As I say, I'm gonna say, okay, this is a marketing folder idea for that project. This is a promotion opportunity for this project. These are my list of contacts in that regard. Any of those types of things I'm gonna have in their specific, like folder or note-taking scenario. So it's a little bit more organized. And I'm going to be fine-tuning in my thought process who is the reader. That I'm always looking at who is the reader. Sometimes I create like this character, and that character is my reader, and I'm trying to write for that character. So that might work for you, it might not work for you. It doesn't always work for every genre, but for my Purple Snowflake Purple Snowflake marketing, Dave and I write together. So if I say my, I'm not trying to take possession, it's just have it. I'm speaking from first person. Obviously, Dave and I work together, but of the Purple Snowflake marketing book, that one, of course, I had a character in mind. I had a specific reader in mind. With the cookbook, totally different. We didn't have a specific reader in mind because it addressed so many different issues. It was going to address so many reach so many different types of readers. And so therefore we had kind of a string line of readers that we're going to be trying to focus as much as we could to attract that group of readers that we knew were going to be interested in the book. So really depends on your genre as to whether you can do that or not. anyway, by doing that, I have a much better idea as to the types of wording and how I'm going to communicate the information, the type of information I'm going to share, and also the slant that I'm going to address that information from. Okay. Now, I'm obviously a huge planner, but really that comes from being decades in the business, working as a freelance writer, working as a staff writer. As a freelance writer, you're working months and months and months in advance, sometimes 18 months in advance. I'm working on next year's Valentine's now, things like that. So these types of, coming up with content creation that's going to be unique for that marketplace, and all of that can be quite a challenge. And so by writing all this stuff down and knowing that I'm working on, say, multiple articles at a time, or multiple books, or multiple aspects of a book at a time. And so there's a lot of things going on the desk, and you're experiencing this too as a writer. And so it's so much easier just to write everything down and become more organized, develop your organization skills. Also, I really like to know where we're going to be focusing our energies on, who is going to do what. If I know that Dave's agreed to take on a certain aspect of this particular project at this stage of the project, he's taking on this aspect, then I know that I don't have to concern myself with that. If I have any ideas or thoughts about what he's taking on, I just write a note and send it off to him via chat or email or whatever, and he can yay or nay it according to what he's already figured out. Maybe he's already thought of whatever it is that I thought of, or maybe he doesn't want to use that resource, or maybe he finds it very useful. So I send it to him, let him make his decision. He'll do the same for me for the project that I'm working on. But otherwise, I've kind of got the reins on my project. He's got the kind of got the reins on his project. And then when we have those meetings, we come back and we say, okay, this is how far I've gotten on my project. How far have you gotten on your project? How can we help each other continue to work forward in that regard? We also do, like, through those meetings, we can say to each other, oh, I really like what you did here, or, did you consider maybe contacting this genre, or this type of contact based on this conversation that we're having? And maybe it'll open up that channel. Go, geez, I never even thought of that. Of course I should do that. It seems so obvious now, but I wasn't thinking of it then. So having those types of communications and reevaluating the action plan for this week is really important when you're working with a co-writer. If you're working with yourself, it's just really helpful to have some sort of schedule in mind, so that, and hold yourself accountable to it, is really what it boils down to. So, I'm going to do this by this date. If I don't do it by that date, I'm going to reevaluate why it didn't work and what I can do to change that situation. Also, for me, I like to really look at our business plan annually and check on where we're going, how we're going, what we're doing, what we can do better, what was holding us up last year, any obstacles that we foresee in the future, how we might circumvent those obstacles, what we might have to do to prepare, preparing now for what's going to happen next year or the year after. Also, we're going to use our marketing plan, our Purple Snowflake marketing techniques are applied to everything that we do. And so we're both coming at the Purple Snowflake marketing techniques from our own genre of interest. Dave has his musician friends and his creative people that he's connected with on a personal level. And so he's going to approach them and his audience in a much different way than I would be approaching my audience. So by doing that, we're able to balance out each other and balance out each project as well. Because Dave is so creative, he does a lot of the book cover designs, the copy blurbs for our any of the book promo stuff, the ad creations, some of the social media posts that we put out is his wording. Not all, we're working at it 100%, each of us doing what we can from where we can. And so we kind of meet in the middle in that regard. writing, when it comes to writing in the office, as you can hear, I have dogs that will interact with barking. I have people ring on the doorbell because I work from home. They think that I'm available to them. I have the phone going off. I have emails blinging. There's a ton of distractions. Plus, being a homepreneur, you have all the distractions of the home life itself. And so for me, trying to find a balance of, while Dave's at work and I'm also working in the office, I also have to take care of our fur children, visitors, appointments, bookkeeping, budgeting, bill paying, managing garbages and recycling and all the composting and the most of the gardening and the most of the harvesting, most of the menu planning, you know, uh, the house cleaning, so all of that sort of mixed in with the business can be a challenge. And so we try to find a way of supporting each other so that our home life and our homepreneur life as well has a nice balance, and it's never 100%. I mean, you look in any aspect of our life or work life, it's never 100%, but we're always striving forward. We're always making steps that move us forward. And I feel like that is the main thing for success, is that we're always making steps that move us in a forward direction. Even if we don't see the results this year, we're still moving in that direction. And that is the most important thing. So hopefully that answered your question in regards to a little bit about the writing process, how we approach it, and how we work together. Thank you very much, Greg from the US, for your question. Really appreciate it.